One of the issues that I'm particularly concerned about at present has arisen out of an inquiry that the Social Services Select Committee is doing at present on disability services. What I've discovered, to my horror, is that the gap between policy and practice is enormous in New Zealand. We have this fantastic document called the New Zealand Disability Strategy, which is a world-class document, and we are well known for our thinking in that regard. But at the coalface of disability issues, there are some huge problems. And one of the concerns I have is around the fact that disabled people are the only group in New Zealand society who get services and funding sort of dumped on them almost against their will at times. And at the Select Committee we've heard some really horrible stories about for instance, a young woman whose husband died. She was reliant on him. She had a degenerative condition. She was placed against her will into an old people's home and was there for 8 months. The first 2 weeks of her time in this old people's home, she wasn't even showered. This is a woman who's articulate, able to communicate easily, and yet was neglected to that level. We have stories of children who don't qualify any longer for respite care because they turned 13 and the caregiver doesn't do teenagers, and so their families now have no break with a child who's got high and complex needs. So the stories are pretty awful. What I'm doing right now is I am fast and furiously consulting with the disability sector and building my own networks with these people. I've met some amazing people who are either themselves disabled, who work in the sector, who are doing an amazing job against the odds, basically. And so what I want to do is make sure that by the time we go into this next election, United Future has the best policy on offer for this sector. And I will be developing that by working with the sector, sharing the ideas that I'm coming up with and checking them with those in the sector to check they're happy with it. So it's quite an exciting journey to be on. Beyond that, of course, I need to then make sure that any supply and confidence agreement we have with whoever is the future government includes some provisions and some gains for the disability sector.